So this is already one of the best looking Violet Evergarden figures among the third parties. Not like there are any genuine figures of her at all. Hi and welcome back to the channel, Steven, with your weekly figure news fix this time around 6th to 11th of May 2024. Last week it was Golden Week holiday, so a lot of Chinese and Japanese companies were closed, they were on holiday. This week the third parties are back with a vengeance. So many new announcements that I'm not sure if I have lost track of any of them. I hope that I did not. On the genuine side, things are a lot more normal. Though this week, we have a lot of degenerate stuff. Like more than a dozen, maybe more than that, right? So I don't have a choice. You are going to see pictures being manipulated in a certain ways for those figures. But anyways, back to genuine figures. Firstly, we jump into Hobby Link Japan, our affiliate partner. And we'll check out the figures on pre-order this week. Moving on to the first figure, we shall begin with 1x4 scales as usual. Nabrel Gamma Bunny version from Overlord at 1x4, 36,000 yen, standard starting point for 1x4 by freeing nowadays. Releasing in November, which is very soon, right? I have brought up this concern before where freeing is taking 5 or 6 months only to release a 1x4 scale, and they release several of them each month. So I really hope that they can get their QC in check over here. I'm a bit concerned with the amount of stuff they are churning out within a single month in a short time frame. Now, what do you think about Nabrel Gamma over here in a white color bunny suit? I'm not sure if white color suits her. And when we take a look at the set of 3 over here, yeah, the colors are beginning to look a bit too monotonous to my liking. I love colors, by the way. This is like completely black and white, so I don't know, man. Moving on to the next one over here, 1x4 skill Senran Kagura again. Murasaki Sexiness version by Hobby Stock, 32,000 yen only, October release. We are seeing inflation firsthand over here, where the very first Senran Kagura 1x4 skill by Hobby Stock back then, 2-3 years ago, though that one did get a re-release. I don't even remember her name. I only know that she has green color hair. That one was 25,000 yen, right? Yeah, and then that was in white nurse outfit, and then she got re-released in black color. That was 25k, and then now within a couple of years, maybe less than that in time frame, jump to 32,000 yen. As for character design, I am not really a big fan of this character. Yeah. But anyways, Senran Kagura fans, they need to buy these. Like, there are no other options out there. I think only Hobby Stock is making 1x4 skill Senran Kagura characters, right? Yeah, I think so. So I mean, collecting this set shouldn't be too bad, I think. Okay, moving on to the next one. 1x6 skill Yuro Fuwa Mate Bunny illustration by Chie Masami. Lacquery. Alright, by Lacquery, only 21,000 yen coming out this December. There are 2 versions of this figure. The second version I can't put on screen because they call it the R18 version. And yeah, literally all of her very important parts are exposed. So it makes me wonder whether Lacquery makes resin figures, because for PVC, if this was a PVC figure, I think a cast-off mechanism would be very easy to execute over here, right? Like just swap out parts or something like that. But for them to make 2 separate figures, I'm suspecting that it is impossible to cast off the clothes on this figure without doing some kind of damage. There was this Japanese figure brand, was it Kaitendo? I think it was Kaitendo. I used to buy an edgy figure from them. I think the name was Nurse Miyo many years ago, 8-10 years ago. Nurse Miyo. And that figure turns out to be a resin figure, because just like the third parties, it is like the figure comes separated in several parts in the box, and then you need to assemble it, and the legs, the arms, and so on, they snap on using magnets. And yeah, the material totally feels like resin. So given that Lacquery is separating into 2 different separate figures, I'm suspecting they use resin as well. suspecting, because I have no experience at all with lacquery figures, even though they have been around for more than a decade. This is a very old company. They have been around for a long time, and in terms of their quality, not too far off from Kaitendo. One of those B minus tier edgy figure brands out there. Yeah, can group them together with Daiki Kogyo or A+, for example, or Q6. Yeah, they give you guys value, but at the same time, the paint work, the detail level is kind of average, right? Back to this character, it feels very generic to me, like just a girl with pink hair and barely any clothes on, just bikini. Like, I've seen too many figures like this, right? So it feels nothing to me. Moving on to the next one, another original character, 1/6 scale Nurse Fallen Angel illustration by Thomas. By 18. Okay, coming out this November very fast once again. 26,500 yen only. This is actually great value. I mean, you look at this one single picture over here, which I am not going to scroll through because of all the 18 plus stuff going on. You are actually getting at least 3 entire torsos and at least 2 different heads, right? Yeah, different face expressions, and then there is a second torso, a second body part where there is a tape on the opai, and then a third one which is completely exposed. So if you are getting so many stuff in the box, I would say 27,000 yen is somewhat reasonable. Yeah. As for character design, well, it is quite hard to please me nowadays. I don't feel attracted to it in any way. Yeah. It is all down to personal taste, I suppose, right? Subjective personal taste. Moving on to the next figure, we have a 1/6 scale Hatsuzuki August 1st romance version from Azur Lane by Anigame, Chinese figure brand. Only almost 17,000 yen, coming out in May next year, 2024. Yeah, the one thing I noticed with Anigame is their figures in general turn out fine, not much issues, because they take their time. The past few Azur Lane figures that has pre-order opened, all of those by Anigame, you wait at least a year, if not longer. And I would prefer it this way over rushing things out and having quality issues, you know. As for this character, yeah, this is my kind of character. I mean, black bikini, just swimsuit, yeah, that is feeling a bit boring once again. But if I narrow things down to the character design alone, the head, the face and everything, the hairstyle, oh, that is my kind of character, right? Anyways, this is only 17k, not a bad buy for Azur Lane collectors, seriously. Right, moving on to the next figure over here. This is the highlight of the week, for myself at least. Yeah, I am a FGO addict over here. 1/7 scale Caster Eltria. 25,000 yen, coming out in May next year as well, more than a year away. Well, no, exactly a year away. Okay. So with this Caster Eltria, there is a bit of history about her. Like, back then when Aniplex released their version of Caster Eltria in this same exact Ascension, I forgot what Ascension is this already, I was quite close to buying it, right? That one is based on the official artwork where she is just standing there doing nothing, no pose at all, no action. It looks a bit boring because it is based on official artwork, character art. So I was contemplating, I was a bit unsure whether to bite the bullet or not. And then I told myself maybe I should get one but wait for the price to drop. But before the price on that version of Caster Eltria would drop, so when Good Smile announced this version back then, the moment I saw the post, even without any painting, I immediately decided this is way better than whatever Aniplex was offering. Well, Aniplex makes excellent figures nowadays, but yeah, everything they do is based on the official character art. And I mean, if there are no other options out there, like no other companies making figures of that character, then I have no choice, I'll buy the Aniplex one. But if there are other companies offer a better pose, I am more likely to lean towards the other version with a better pose, which is exactly the case over here. I know some of you will not like this version of Eltria Caster. You will be nitpicking like, her face doesn't look like the official art or something along those lines, you know. You will be nitpicking about how this isn't accurate enough in what you saw in the game. yada yada yada. Anyways, I love action poses, I love dynamic poses, so this is totally my kind of thing. I will be keeping an eye on her. No, I don't recommend pre-ordering saber faces like this one because more than often, every single one of them bargain bins after release. Just within 2 or 3 months, they will get a discount. I bought Saber Moderate by Good Smile for only 17,000 yen, by the way. Yeah, and I am confident the same thing will repeat with anything with a Saber Ultra face, right? I consider Moderate as Saber Ultra face as well, by the way, like just a variation of it. It does not have to be a 40 or 50% bargain bin. Even a nice 25-30% off is enough to convince me to buy it. So I will be keeping an eye on her and pick one up after release. Yeah. Moving on to the next one over here. Okay, 1x7 scale Hololive production, Iroha Kazama. Yeah, I remember her very well from One Fest, this figure right here, by Claynel, which is Kadokawa, with Jaraani. Okay, 25,000 yen coming out in March next year. I love that panda. Is that a panda or a tanuki? A tanuki, right? Yo, I love the details around her waist, her abdomen over here. No, the more I look at her, the more I am being reminded of Soji Okita. Yeah, another saber face character in the Fate franchise. You know, Soji Okita in that Japanese outfit as well with a katana on her waist over here. Yeah, quite, maybe it is a color scheme, very similar. Hololive stuff, yeah, the price might go up after release, might. So you'll want to pre-order one if you like her. Moving on to the next one, Xenoblade, very popular. This Mio figure by Good Smile is only over 14,000 yen, really cheap for what you're getting. And coming out in May next year, I would say hit the pre-order button as soon as possible because, yeah, everything from this franchise, they just sell out and become rare and expensive. I mean, Mitra and Pyra got re-released because they became too expensive in the aftermarket. This one could easily go over 20k after release. Yeah, so pre-order it while you can. This is one of the best bargains this week. Moving on to the next one, we have a pair of figures from a certain scientific railgun, T, 3rd season. This one is Mikoto Misaka. 15,000 yen only. I mean, Good Smile is really... Their pricing nowadays is not bad at all, man. Very reasonable. I mean, they have quite a number of Blue Archive figures in swimsuits only, but they were like 13,000 yen or so. Maybe they are really challenging Kotobukiya, maybe. And this one, 15k, not my favorite figure of Misaka Mikoto, but still not a bad purchase. Together with Kuroko, of course, you need... not Kuroko, is it? Yeah, Kuroko. Okay. Kuroko Shirai. Yeah, these two are meant to be a set, as you can see. So, 2 figures for 31,000 yen or so. Yeah, 30 to 31,000 yen. But I personally think you'll still get a bit more discounts after release, right? Should you pre-order early? This is a tough question because I am not very knowledgeable about the aftermarket values of this railgun series. If you really want one, I don't see it as a bad idea to pre-order it early because this is already pretty cheap, right? Moving on to the next one from Belfine, we have a Yun Yun figure at 1x8 scale, only 1x8, that is so sad. For 20,000 yen, but there is a small discount over here coming out as early as this October. That makes me trust Belfine even lesser given the time frame this figure is taking for a release. It is so unfortunate because Good Smile put a figure of Megumin at 1x6 scale on pre-order just a couple of weeks ago for around 20 or 21,000 yen, but that was a 1x6. And here we have a figure that is not that much cheaper compared to that Megumin, but she is a set 1x8 scale. Quite disappointing really because this figure of Yun Yun, this is what I call a vanilla design, right? Like no special outfit, no wedding dress, no swimsuit, no bunny suit, no fancy stuff. This is like based on her original default character design. I call it vanilla design. So if this was 1/6 scale, she would pair really well with that Megumin figure made by Good Smile Company. But the size difference is too big over here. 1/6 and 1/8. Yeah, they will look really weird next to each other, unfortunately. There are not many scales of Yun though. I think Kadokawa made a couple of them. There was this pirate cosplay version, and then there was the... Yeah, what do you call that? Was that Kadokawa again? The black color dress of some kind. Yeah, that was amazing as well. Okay. Yeah, there are not many figures of Yun, and Belfine just had to do her at 1/8 scale. At least she is getting a nice base though. And maybe I'm being too harsh on Belfine over here. I mean, yeah, with that base over there and being under 20,000 yen, maybe 1/8 scale, is, I mean, it is not as overpriced as I made it out to be, you know? It is somewhat reasonable, yeah. Moving on to the next one from Symphogear GX, Carol Malus Deinheim, 1/7 scale. Like, this kind of very German sounding name. I think you only see this kind of names in anime nowadays. I think modern Germans, they don't have names like this. 27,000 yen by Hobby Stock. Coming out this November, very fast as well. Now for Symphogear collectors, this is a must-have. Like, no one else. No other figure brands are making scale figures of Symphogear characters. Perhaps, yeah, pretty much every other character up to this point, they were all made by this one company alone, Hobby Stock. So you don't have much of a choice over here. 27k is expensive for this figure, very expensive, but yeah, no alternatives out there. German Mahou Shoujo. Even the character design looks really German to me somehow. I don't even know why she looks German to me. Maybe it is an influence from many other anime stereotyping Germans, you know? I think the first character that comes to mind is this eye patch girl in Infinite Stratos. Yeah, I'm bad at remembering names. She reminds me of her quite a bit. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, now we are going into low-cost figure territory. Only one pop-up rate this week. Kyoka Uzen from Mato Seihei no Slave or Chained Soldier in the English version. Under 4,000 yen. Okay, I love the pose on this. Like, simple yet attractive, right? Once again, I would be really interested to see how they get the paint done right on the uniform. Her face looks amazing. This is one of the better looking pop-up rate figures already out there. Really, going on pre-order this year. I mean, as long Good Smile does not mess up the paint, this is a good buy. Except I don't trust Good Smile Company's pop-up rate yet. Yeah, they were great. The first couple of years this product line was introduced to us many years ago, they were great. And then the quality slowly went downhill from there. Yeah. Moving on to the next one over here. Okay, from Mega House GEM series, we have Nefertari VV. Run. Okay, 7,000 yen for tiny figures. Yeah, not my kind of thing. You want a figure of VV, go and check out third parties. So many options costing between 100 to 150 US dollars. I know, I should be recommending people to support licensed products, which is often the case. Like, I really encourage people to buy licensed stuff. But at the same time, when we are talking about Mega House and Bandai, for some reason, I like to oppose them in some way. Like, maybe it is because I don't like the way they do things sometimes. Moving on to the next one, Mega House GEM again. From Haikyuu Tenohira Tetsuro Kuro, 7,000 yen as well. This must be, yeah, the palm size figures, I think. Yeah, literally the size of my hand, not very big. No comment. I think he looks great. I think the figure looks great, but I am not a fan of tiny figures. And the third one, from Blue Lock, Nagi Tenohira. Tenohira Seishiro Nagi. Okay. 7,000 yen as well. Now, maybe it is a better idea to go for the one by Furyu, even though I normally don't recommend Furyu stuff. Furyu did scale figures from Blue Lock, and they were like 22,000 yen each. Yeah. My concern with those two figures were leaning because the figures are angled. Like, they are leaning at a very acute angle. I know they have a support at the knee region, which is not very nice to look at. But still, yeah. Not a fair comparison, right? That is over 20,000 yen and this is 7,000 yen. Okay, moving on to the next one, Mega House GEM. Again, we have Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho, 7,000 yen. You know, I hate Yu Yu Hakusho so much. And that might be unfounded hate because it was actually the TV channel called Animax that made me hate the series because they repeated telecasting this series for like a bazillion times. They keep repeating it back then. Like when I was watching the channel as a high school student, Yu Yu Hakusho is all I see on TV. They repeat it 3 or 5 times a day. And that made me hate Yu Yu Hakusho so much. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, this is skill figure. We have 3 male characters for skill figures on the genuine side for this week. Conan, yeah, Detective Conan and Kaito. 19,800 yen. February release next year. Full Reel. Nicely played, man. Full Reel. Nicely played. Full Reel has been going after anime characters a lot more recently. Like they make figures of seasonal anime characters which the bigger brands are unwilling to make because they always bargain bin, you know. And with Detective Conan, yeah, I haven't seen expensive skill figures from this series in a long time. Pop-up rate does not count, by the way, so yeah, there are not many genuine skill figures, the high quality ones on Detective Conan. Of course, you can always take a look at the third-party GK market. But still, for this specific figure over here, I feel like Full Reel's weaknesses in general, where their figures turn out to be less detailed compared to what was being advertised by their product pictures, it won't affect characters like Conan that much because these are not very detailed characters to begin with. So this might not be a bad purchase for those of you interested in this pair of figure. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, we have Dragon Ball Arise Kami. So this is God, the God in Dragon Ball. 27,000 yen by Plex. Is this what God looks like? Yeah, I don't collect figures of muscular dudes or aliens, by the way, so this is a hard pass for me. And the last figure on HLJ, just a quick mention because I have no idea what I'm looking at. Is this from a game like non-anime origin, non-Japanese origin game? I'm not too sure. So this is Prime 1 Studio 1x4 Skill Ultimate Premium Masterline Horizon Forbidden West Alloy Tenakth Dragoon Armor Set. Okay, 180,000 yen for a top of the line resin statue. Yeah, this totally looks like a game character no matter how I look at. One of those dark fantasy game characters, you know. I could have even mistaken him to be from the Avatar series. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to Ami Ami. Okay, more figures over here. This is Ami Ami exclusive. Gale's series rebuild of Evangelion, Misato Katsuragi and Pen Pen version 2. By Mega House, almost 20,000 yen. I could only sigh. I know they are including a penguin over there, but still 20k feels really expensive when I know that Mega House figures are really tiny. And having seen so many Ayanami, Rei, and Asuka figures, even Makinami Illustrious Mari, yeah, I have forgotten this character even exists. 20k is expensive. It is. Moving on to the next one, Ami Ami exclusive again, we have Mega House Lucria series, Persona 5 Royal Navi, Futaba Sakura. Okay, 26,400 yen. Ouch again. Coming out this October, very fast. Okay, so we have optional parts over here. This is her wearing goggle, some spy-ish looking goggle, and then you can display her this way, which is what I personally prefer. Yeah. And with Persona 5, I think there are like 2 or 3 companies doing the figures only. Other than Mega House, the one I remember the most is, yeah, Amakuni, right? I think Amakuni has a figure on on Futaba Sakura as well. And yeah, Fat's company used to do a figure of her like back in 2015, 2016 in her casual outfit. I still remember that figure very well because that figure is full of QC issues in the paintwork. Moving on to the next one, Mega House exclusive again. I mean exclusive. Mega House GEM, Bleach Byakuya, Kuchiki. Okay. Yeah, Bleach 1000 Year, Blood War. Almost 30,000 yen for real, Mega House. Sheesh. Are we paying like an extra 10,000 yen for that base over there? 30,000 yen for this is ridiculous, man. No way this is worth 30k. No way. What is the height of the figure? Since GEM is always, non-scale. Oh god, that makes it even worse. 25.5 centimeters. This is 1/7 scale if it was a female character, but this is a male character making 25 centimeters 1/8 scale. And with that base alone, they are asking for 30k. This has to be the most overpriced figure this week, hands down. Moving on to the next one. Okay, this Chinese brand figure, for some reason, it is an Ami exclusive. Yeah, Chou Mocha 1/6 scale by Koi, 6,600 yen. Yeah, if you love the character design, pick one up. No reasons not to at this price, right? Not to mention you're getting at least 2 face plates over there. Right, yeah. 2 face expressions, and to see this kind of shading paintwork on her hair, I hope that is real shading. Yeah, amazing value at 6,600 Japanese yen. Colors are bland because everything is blue color, but I suppose this is forgivable for something barely more expensive than appropriate. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, original character Kowakuma Yayako, 1/7 scale by Animaster, 9,000 yen. Buy it, buy it, buy it. Yeah, I really feel like I want to review this one, but I don't know what YouTube thinks about this figure, I mean, technically, her important parts are covered up even though she barely has any clothes on it. However, maybe, the YouTube algorithm will give her a pass. They did not detect anything out of the norm with this figure simply because her chest is flatter than even my own chest. So, yeah. No opai, no problem, I suppose. Must have, seriously. I would even say this figure is a better buy than even this 6,600 yen figure over here. Simply because, yeah, more details, a great base over there. What else can you ask for at 9,000 yen, right? Okay, next one over here, the next 3 figures are edgy stuff on Ami. Found Shigure, illustrated by Hitomio. What does the word found mean over here? Anyways, this is made by Lovely, Chinese figure brand. 22,000 yen after a small discount coming out this December. Yeah, I can't show you guys much, but there are a lot of parts included over here for you to swap out. To me, right, this feels like one of those few occasions where Lovely is doing a bit inferior to Japanese brands, because this figure reminds me of a few native figures, right? Native Skytube figures which had a very similar pose and character design. I love JKs undressing themselves in the classroom, by the way. Yeah, there are native figures out there with very similar character design to this one, and this one just pales in comparison. Like, I don't know, man. It appears to be less detailed in a way or less attractive, but still, this is cheap. This is 22k. A native figure that looks like this would be 30k nowadays. Yeah, 25 to 30k. Maybe, I mean, this is just the art style, right? The art style of the artist behind this character. No point over analyzing things. The last 2 figures over here, we have giant Opai figures by Q6 again. That is all they do. Say Yariman Gakuen. Aha, I know what is that. There is an anime adaptation for this title over here. Ray 1/6 scale, 26,000 yen. You can have her in BLM version or WLM version. Pick your poison, by the way. Yeah, I don't mean Black Lives Matter and White Lives Matter. Pick your version. Which one do you prefer? Or you can just buy both if you are into figures like this. Yeah, I know I'm bringing in political related stuff, but I'm using them as jokes, alright? I don't want to discuss about those kind of topics. Alright, last stop, Nin game. Just going through them because I can't show any picture at all, but this is some of the most degenerate figures money can buy every week, you know. Insight, Be Full, and what other brands do we have? Yeah, Ford Japan with the lolly figures not having any clothes on. Urakoi Shoujo, 50,000 yen, 1/3 scale. Yeah, go and check her out yourself. And then the next one here, we have Sexy Okazu Delivery Kokote. What's funny is that the word kote in, was it Tamil? Tamil, Indian, the word kote means your balls. Yeah, kokote. Juicy version. Juicy balls. Anyways, 1/4 scale, 27,000 yen. 1/8 scale, 19,000 yen. Your usual 2 scale versions by Insight. And lastly, we have Exhibitionist, which lore, how to pronounce that? Same thing, 1/6 scale, 19,000 yen. And 1/4 scale, 28,000 yen. Yeah. Basically, just a wage, a Mahou Shoujo, bearing it all, nothing special in my opinion. And that is all for genuine figures on pre-order this week. Now we move on to third-party figures making use of OzGK, which is our affiliate partner as well. Yeah, there are some links down below, so go and check them out if you're interested in any of the figures. Way too many figures this week, right? Let's move on to the first figure over here. I'll begin with the One Piece stuff. I want to get them out of the way, you know. From SKT Studio, we have Uta from One Piece in swimsuit in bikini, $226 at 1/6 scale, which is typical for a 1/6 scale resin figure coming out this December. Okay, I actually like the jacket she is putting on. Like, the jacket surrounding her is the single feature of this figure, making the figure appear more attractive. If she was not wearing the jacket, you know, just plain black bikini, then this would be very difficult to recommend, in my opinion. Yeah, but that single jacket make her appear more detailed. So pick one up if you like her. Moving on to the next One Piece figure over here. From Pofang Studio, we have Yamato. Okay, standard version, $170. And then there is a black version over here. Same price. And then there is a version with DLC, which presumably means cast off above parts. Can buy separately. Yup, cast off above parts, $189. So, you know, I don't get the reason why they even offer two versions over here when the difference is barely $20. Just include it, right? Maybe in China, people are not allowed to buy the edgy version. I don't know, but to me, it makes no sense to offer two different versions with a difference of $20. Yeah. This is too gentle looking for Yamato. Like, yeah, too gentle looking. The Yamato I know is like, no, very feisty, always ready for action, ready for combat with that, no, like very confident looking face. So this one feels really out of character to me. Does this even look like Yamato at all? Doesn't feel that way to me. Moving on to the next one. This has to be one of the best looking Perona figures I've seen in quite a long time. I mean, there are many figures of her, but this is one of the most impressive ones yet by XY Studio. Okay. The value is amazing as well. 1/4 scale, $345. 1/6 scale, $189 only. I mean, if you don't want a giant figure, 1/6 scale is enough. I mean, look at what you're getting over here. This huge teddy bear behind her with a very detailed figure. All of this at 1/6, $189. Great purchase, man. Not too shabby for under $200, but I am already spotting some flaws upon zooming in. Like, XY Studio, you all guys will want to clean up your parts over here. See? You see all these small bits over here? Do you know what is that? That is basically, yeah, contamination. during the painting process, or maybe after 3D printing, the parts, they did not clean up the surface enough, did not smoothen it, did not sand it enough, and then they just painted over it. So you see these imperfections on the surface, right? Sometimes it can also be dust, where after you did the undercoat on the figure, right? You did undercoat, and then some dust particles fell on the undercoat layer, and then you just paint over it. Yeah, you get something like this. Maybe I'm in no place to criticize, because the resin figures I print myself in my studio, yeah, I do 3D printing as well as a hobby. They also somewhat look like this, but at least I'm not selling my stuff for $200, you know? So get your stuff done right, XY Studio. Like, no, this is not good. One can argue that what else can you ask for at $200, right? Yeah, it depends on the perspective, but I think this is a bit unprofessional when you are selling stuff. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have a Boa Hancock this week from Enjoying Flames Studio. I just don't understand how Chinese companies name their companies. They come up with really weird names. Maybe it is because they literally translated it word by word, literally from Chinese, so they can sound really weird sometimes. Okay, this is version A, yeah, Boa Hancock without that snake, that serpent behind her, only $117 at 1/7 scale. With Salome, yeah, this, I mean, if you buy the snake alone, $99, and with Salome, $191. It makes sense when you go for the entire set, but this is not the best value Boa Hancock figure out there. I have seen 1/6 scales going for around the same price, including the serpent behind her. So maybe compare stuff and see which one you like better before pre-ordering it, right? This one is loyal to the anime. Yeah, loyal to the anime in character design. Moving on to the next one over here, we have quite a few Evangelion figures this week. From Ayu Studio, we have Asuka from Evangelion. This is $237 at 1/6 scale. Generic Asuka figure, right? Yeah. The only one single feature that gives away this figure's identity is a third party, assuming that we don't know anything about the figure, right? Is the base. Because, yeah, Japanese companies making licensed figures, they are super stingy. They'll just give you a round plastic disc. Most of the time, they won't give you a base like that. Not at this price, 200 plus US dollars, right? Yeah, she looks great. This is like a cuter version of Asuka. Not exactly the same as Asuka I know, but still very nice looking. I have no complaints, to be honest. This is a good buy. Moving on to the second one over here from Chien Studio. Okay, this is a 1/4 scale. There are several different figures over here. I don't know why, they group all different figures into the same listing. It is quite confusing at times, and people might put down the wrong order. I don't know why they do this. It is a very common practice in third party websites, I mean, where you see entirely different figures, but they group it all under the same product listing. I can't say I like this practice at all. Okay, so this one starts at $378, and then here with a better base, a more detailed base, for $553, and then there is a white version. Oh, LED. That looks amazing. LED. This is quite hard to choose. Oh no, I don't like her face. Probably I wasn't the only one criticizing her face. So the company announced that they are doing a new face sculpt. This is not what you're getting. You're getting a second one over here. This looks so much better. Yeah, I mean, this is becoming a very common practice nowadays. Like, these third-party companies, they release product pictures, and then if there are any criticism, they will try to rectify it before releasing the figure. And more than often, you will get both face plates in the box. Yeah. I hope that Japanese companies do the same thing, man. Seriously, like, They are listening to feedback, listening to criticism, and actually trying to address it, which is a very admiring thing to do, considering that, yeah, I mean, the Japanese companies won't even do it at all. So yeah, go and pick your favorite version among so many options over here. This one looks quite nice as well, even when she comes with a realistic face, right? 1x4 skill. So starting at $300-400 average. Yeah, they are more of normal price. Moving on to the next one, another figure brand, making 4 different versions of Asuka, and all of them are grouped into one single listing over here. Coming from Fan Art Studio. Okay, so this figure starts from $332. In fact, the base model looks amazing already. Right, this looks amazing. And then version B, $187 only. I think that is the Hadaka version. Yeah. Okay, so can I just scroll through the pictures? Oh, nice jacket. Anyways, there really is no shortage of great Asuka figures out there. Just pick your favorite, right? Moving on to the next one, Ayanami Way by Huben Studio. 1x7 scale, $187. Just black dress. The dress looks amazing over here, but that is partly due to the lighting. You see all these glow over here. It is from Studio Light, very obvious. Maybe the actual figure is just plain black, you know. This is very similar to what Apex Toys did, man. Apex Toys did a pair of Rei and Asuka figures. Asuka was in a pink dress and Rei was in a white dress, I think. Was it white? Can't remember. But the dress design and everything is very similar. Yeah. But those 2 figures by Apex Toys, they were sitting pose, right? They are not the same. Oh, I love her back, man. Oh, that... The back is just as important as the front when it comes to pretty women. Trust me, the back is just as important. Moving on to the next one. Okay, we have 3 Anya figures this week. The first one by Engineer Studio. Okay, by the way, $449 for life size 1.1 meters tall. Oh, Anya is really short, 1.1 meters only. Okay, a life sized for $449. Half size 1x2 scale, $254. And there is S. S is about 1x6 scale actually for $117. Yep. So life size is not a bad display if you have the space at home, I suppose. For the price of a 1x4 scale, you're getting a 1x1 scale Anya. Next one over here from Sakura Studio, we have Anya Forger Sakura. Okay, referring to the dress she is wearing for $79 at 1x6 scale. Yeah, no. When it comes to buying Anya figures, there is one very important feature, which is all of her troll faces needs to be included. If it is just a generic smiling face, skip it. Right? Skip it. Moving on to the third one over here from Waku Waku Studio, Anya Forger First Anniversary Special Edition. Okay, life size is available for $640. Wow. Life size for $640, and there is a 1x4 scale for $191. Look at that size difference over there. Okay, so this Anya figure really reminds me of the one made by a licensed resin figure brand, Figurama. Figurama has a very similar Anya figure, though the base design is slightly different. Two possibilities over here. Either the statue is indeed bigger than the one by Engineer Studio earlier, or that woman standing next to the statue is quite short. Because here in Asia, women are short, men are short, everyone are short except for Koreans. Yeah, South Koreans, they are quite tall because of how they love beef, like they eat a lot of beef. That is what I heard. They eat a lot of protein. Meanwhile, in Asia, everyone eats carbohydrates because we are poor, so carbs are cheap, right? Yeah, people here eat too much rice, to be honest. The average height for an adult woman in my country is like 152, 153 centimeters. Yeah, barely more than 5 feet. So if you are a tall guy like me, I'm 5 feet 11, which is considered very tall for the standards of my country. When you are a tall guy and the average adult female height in your country is just barely over 5 feet, it is a great place to be in when you are a lolicon, because all of the women around you are lollies in a way, and they are all legal age. Yeah. Speaking of personal preferences though, I don't have any specific preferences. I don't mind if my girl is up here or at my shoulder. Yeah, I don't care. Okay, moving on to the next one. We're going way off track. Miwo Studio Kurumi Tokisaki. At 1/6 scale, this is an early bird pre-order. The price is not yet confirmed. Will this be $300? Yeah, this is just a placeholder, not the final price. $300. Yeah, with that base over there, maybe it is possible this will hit $300. What do you think about the face? I don't like it. Yeah, it is a bit different from what I see in the anime. Not bad looking, but different, and I don't like it. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, a second Kurumi figure by Forest Rabbit Studio. 1/6 scale smiling version. This one, right? Yep. What is the price? $189. $189, and then there is evil version, different faceplate, I suppose, with $189, and then double head version $218. Just get double head, right? Just a different head, I suppose. Yeah. Oh, I just noticed something. Her body is very long. Her torso is very long. It is like taking a Kurumi figure and stretching it vertically. Like, yeah, something is off about her body, man. The sculpting of the torso. Maybe it is just me seeing things, but the closer-up picture earlier, it feels like her torso, the belly region, is quite elongated in a way. What do you think? In my opinion, for $180 to $120, I would rather spend it on a nice 1/7 scale genuine figure of Kurumi, because this is just her wearing a bikini, like nothing special about it. And that base is making the figure more expensive than it actually is, you know? Yeah. Moving on to the next one over here, we have a bust figure of 2B from Candy House Studio. Yeah, there are swappable parts where you can display her without any clothes on around the chest region, and you get what appears to be, yeah, realistic looking hair. 1/3 scale. Yeah, I've never been a fan of bust figure, and I don't think I will ever like them. Not my kind of thing. Moving on to the next one, we have a figure of Violet Evergarden by Huixiang Studio. 1/6 scale, $246. Okay, so this is already one of the best looking Violet Evergarden figures among the third parties. Not like there are any genuine figures of her at all. One of the best looking ones when I look at her face, right? For some reason, every single third party figures of her out there, they are unable to capture her face. Her face just looks slightly off in a way, right? And this one is among the best ones yet. And the only unfortunate thing is that, yeah, we are not getting her in that blue color uniform she wears at her work, you know? But not a major issue, because the setup of this entire figure with that stack of books over there, this looks amazing, man. If you love Violet Evergarden, I would say this figure is a must-have. Yeah, Huixiang Studio is a relatively unknown name, you know, and let's hope they don't screw up her face. But other than that, yeah, this is like the leading candidate when it comes to the most recommended third-party Violet Evergarden figure out there. I love her face so much over here. This is very reminiscent of what I see in the series. Very good. Very good sculpt on her face. Yeah, one of the highlight figures this week. Moving on to the next one, this is an early bird teaser from Fallen Angel Studio. We have Dragon Guard 30. No idea what is that. So this is just a teaser pic, and that is all we have, nothing much. So we can't discuss too much until we get more pictures, right? Next one over here, okay, a Hyperspace Studio and Dreamhouse Studio collab, Dungeon Fighter Ghost Swords Slayer Spectre. Okay, 1x4 scale black version, the one you're looking at, $500. 1x6 scale black version, 187. 1x6 scale white, 187. Let's have a look. Wow, very stylish, isn't it? Like, I could totally imagine putting a figure like this against a cyberpunk-esque style background. That would look amazing, man. And unfortunately, I couldn't scroll through most of the pictures because YouTube does not like it. But based on this rear view alone, man, she looks fabulous. Yeah, $500 is not something many people can afford for a 1x4 scale, but at least the 1x6 scale is quite affordable at $187. Next one from MX Studio, we have Overwatch 2 Kiriko. Early bird pre-order, the price is not yet confirmed. Standard version 280, deluxe 400. Yeah, of course, the kind of level of detail you get for a 1x4 scale, I think Free Ink's 1x4 scale bunny figures are not even close to this level, man. Yeah. And this is what her face looks like, realistic face but very pretty. Yeah. Of course, this is going to be customable if you go for the deluxe version. Moving on to the next one over here from Hello Studio, we have, Free Run. You know, I just covered this figure a few days ago. I thought this figure was already in production, but as it turns out, no. Pre-order has just opened, and she goes for $191, coming out this December. Yeah, I published episode 3 of which third-party figure brand is best 2 or 3 days ago, and it appears that the brand Hello Studio is doing a fantastic job with her face over here. Like, yeah, this is exactly what you're getting if you pre-order her. Just that whether you like Free Run in this outfit, that is entirely up to you. To me, this feels a bit out of character. Not just a bit, very out of character. Next figure, we have one single Stellar Blade Eve figure for this week by Light and Dust Studio, and this is already the best looking Eve figure so far in my opinion. $444 at 1x4 scale. Yep, this is very close to what I see in the game in terms of the character design, the face sculpt and everything. This is now the leading figure for Eve, the best one out there. $434 for 1x4 with that base over there, not bad at all. If you really like Eve, I would say go and pick this one up, go and pre-order it, right? The Eve figures we have seen from the recent few weeks, they are just not as good as this one over here. Moving on to the next one, we have a licensed resin figure by Coreplay Studio. Original character Valkyrie Azure Dragon Emperor. $865, man. This is so cluttered, so messy. Yeah. This is the one thing I don't like about figures like this, is that the entire backdrop, the background is stealing attention away from the main character in the middle. Like, he is or she is completely lost. This is the kind of figure where you get to enjoy in person, but taking photos of her will be a bit rough. Like I said earlier, she gets lost in the massive backdrop. Holy crap, man. This is what $800+ buys you. Not my kind of thing, but wow. Just wow. Alright. Let's move on to the next figure. I don't want to spend too much time on each figure because there are so many of them. Moving on to the next figure, or rather doll, we have one of the worst ones this week. From Yujai Wenshin Studio, we have Tifa at 1x3 scale from Final Fantasy, $465. Yeah, that is cheap for a 1x3 scale, but this looks nothing like Tifa. I am straight up going to call this a fat version of Tifa. Yes, I am fat shaming a doll right here because this looks nothing like Tifa, the Tifa we know from the game, right? The body proportion, everything is off, way too fat. she is a lot more, she is fitter than what she appears to be in this doll. Like, this is not an accurate representation of her. The face, there is some resemblance on the face, but that is it. Even the face is a bit too chubby, I think. So no, I can't recommend this at all. $465, spend it on that Stellar Blade E figure earlier at 1x4. Seriously, not worth it. Moving on to the next one. Okay, from Glaya Studio, original character, Kaiju Princess Kao. So if this is original character by right, this shouldn't be third party, right? It is like licensed character. If it was their own original character, but anyways, regular version 191, deluxe version, presumably you're getting Hadaka version for 282. She is cute, I like her, but at the same time, she's giving off one of those gamer girl vibes. Yeah, the hikikomori girl who sticks inside her room playing games all day and eating junk food. Yeah, totally that kind of character. She is cute though. Never heard of Glaya Studio. Let's hope that it's not GLA Electronic Arts. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. Zenless Zone Zero. From World Studio, we have a figure of Ellen Jo at 1x6 scale. Standard version, $296, where the base probably cost $100 already. And deluxe version, yep, Hadaka version included for $361. So, this is the Ellen Jo figure I would get, because the other figure of her made by Baji Studio, that was just her with barely any clothes on. And yeah, a shark tail. Very nice shark tail, but this is so much more dynamic. I love action poses, and this would be the Ellen Jo figure to get. I'm actually quite surprised that not many third-party figure brands are jumping on Zenless Zone Zero yet. Like, there are not that many figures from this game yet, compared to Honkai series, for example. Moving on to the next one from Magic Mushroom Studio, we have Tendo Arisu from Blue Archive. Okay, standard version, the one you're looking at on screen, $237. High-end version, which includes a Hadaka version, like, oh, very nice. Just that, the figure is not very detailed. I mean, look at the sculpt on the hair. Very shallow sculpt over there. So I'm not sure if even $237 is worth it. Yeah, you buy it for the fan service, right? No genuine figure brands are going to give you a Hadaka Tendo Arisu figure. Next one over here from ACY Studio, we have Scarlet Black Shadow from Nikkei. Obviously, they can't mention the name because of license issues. Standard version $500, deluxe version $567. Okay, let's have a look at the pictures. For $500 or $600, right, I would rather spend that money on a 1x4 scale 2B from Nier Automata, but this is not bad at all. Yeah. I'll stop here because from this point onwards, it is Hadaka Pictures once again. And ACY Studio, they are quite well known by now for 1x4 scale stuff. So I would say don't worry too much. Yeah, like her, go ahead and pre-order it. Moving on to the next one. This is more of an announcement. We don't even have a picture of the prototype yet. Sea King Studio, we have Genshin Impact, Rosalind Kruchka. Very Russian this time around. What is up with Genshin Impact giving very complex names to their characters, man? Honkai as well. Okay, this is apparently $332 only for 1x4 scale, but we'll see. I would say it is too early to put down a pre-order for something that does not have even a prototype picture yet. Okay, moving on to the next figure over here. We have two figures of Cappuccino this week. So from Atlas Studio, we have Genshin Impact. Arlecchino, standard version would be $235. Deluxe version $344, and there is an accessory package for $135. Okay, let's take a look at this Frappuccino over here. I actually like the face on this one a lot. Blurry pic, but the face is quite nice. Ooh. Okay, this looks majestic AF. Deluxe version is the base and the wing there, I suppose. And this is the standard version. Even the standard version looks amazing already. Which one would you choose? This is a tough choice to me because even standard version, yeah, looks great. This is possibly the best figure of Cappuccino I've seen so far. And then the next Cappuccino figure over here, we have Magic Mushroom Studios version, where this is more of a fan service, which is why I am not too inclined in recommending this one. Get the one before that, yeah. Just lingerie, nope. And isn't her oppai too big? Like, this is B cup and this is F cup. What? I just don't like it when third-party figure brands artificially enlarge the bust size of characters. Moving on to the next one, we have a chibi figure of Huo from Honkai Star Rail right here by 7 must be Chi Mo One Studio. 7 is Chi in Chinese, Chi. But anyways, doesn't matter. If I don't know the Chinese characters, I won't be able to pronounce it correctly. And is this CGI image? Yes, it is. If this was done by Big Cute Studio or CR Studio, I would say go ahead and pre-order it. But this studio, never heard of them. So maybe don't, right? I don't know. Next one, okay, this is another early bird pre-order, I think. Okay, we don't have many pictures yet, right? Only one picture, this one over here. From Loveholic and Elta Studio, we have Gobin from Honkai Star Rail. 1x4 scale, $430. 1x7 scale, $272. Yeah, this is the only picture we have of her so far, but we can expect more pictures next week. Moving on to the next one, Honkai Star Rail just dominating everything in the third-party space. Code Studio Firefly from Honkai Star Rail. Okay, version A, we have $237. Version B, a Hadaka version for sure, no pictures yet, $189. And version C, you get both for $345. More water effect part for the base. Yeah, I think that is all we get. And once again, CGI renders. She is pretty, but to me, it feels very generic, like a generic game character in a way. Next one over here, Honkai Star Rail Acheron from Halo Studio. Okay, the only Acheron figure this week, 1x6 scale standard edition, $258. Transformative version, which means, yeah, this color over here for the same price. Swimsuit edition, not worth it, just black bikini, I'm not putting on screen. And then A plus B version, A plus B swimsuit version, and so on, up to $503. The face on this version is actually not bad, right? Yeah, this is quite pretty as well. My favorite one is still the 1x4 scale. I can't remember what studio anymore. There was a 1x4 scale which was really good. This is also not bad at all. Very lovely face. $258 1x6 scale standard. Not bad of a price. Moving on to the next one. This is early bird pre-order with a teaser picture. Arctic World Studio Wedding Dress Series Teresa Apocalypse. This is Honkai Impacted, I think. Yeah, Honkai Impacted. Price not yet confirmed. We only get a teaser pic focused on her dress. Did they use a f1.2 lens on this thing? Like, they are focused on only the dress and then they managed to blur out the whole thing, the background. They're using a f1.2, 1.4 lens to capture this image. Yeah, we can't see much yet. Moving on to the next one. Okay, moving from this point onwards, every figure. There are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 degenerate figures. This is not degenerate enough yet, just that she is wearing what is essentially a micro bikini, so YouTube does not like it. ACG Studio Honkai Impacted Teresa Apocalypse. Right, going for, okay, the price is not yet confirmed, $200 over here. But yeah, you can expect plus minus 10-15%. Won't cost too much. She's pretty, and ACG Studio, their figures are decent. Not the most detailed out there, but decent. Maybe pick one up if you want a figure of her with barely any clothes on. She is quite attractive though. This figure is quite attractive, I won't lie. Next figure. Okay, we have a figure of Guanmei from Ant Studio. Yeah, Another organic green tea figure this week. Last week we had a figure making organic green tea as well. I can't remember which character anymore. And now we have another one over here. This is really cheap, only $168, and you're getting extra parts. Yup, confirmed. Extra parts I can't put on screen once again. But if you are not going after the best and the most detailed figure of Guanmei out there, this is worth picking up just to add something to a collection. Yeah, my problem with this figure is her hair. The hair is very lacking in detail. Just plain dark brown and nothing much, right? I've seen better than this, but then again, this is only $168 with optional parts included. Moving on to the next one, we have, there are so many low effort Jingliu figures out there for some reason. Like, everyone is just lazily slapping a black bikini on her. I don't like this practice at all. This is from Huayue Studio, and the pricing starts from $117. Yes, very cheap, but I still can't recommend you guys wasting your money on figures like this. Seriously. Next degenerate figure, we have Hu Tao with no clothes on by Packing Studio. This is, wow. Yeah, that is not the real price, but why $9.99, man? This can't be more than $200. I'm looking forward to the one made by NiPP Studio, by the way, not yet released. Moving on to the next cultured figure from Odd Studio, we have an original character, Zombie Sister Series Shi Shi. Oh, come on. Sometimes the currency just keep jumping, happens. $191. Okay. Actually, the character design is quite nice, I won't lie, and she reminds me of that Chinese named character in Azur Lane, where her hair is also split in half black and white, but this one is more like big Oppai version. Quite lovely character. Next one, Baji Studio. I just mentioned them earlier. Mana Nekomiya from Zenless Zone Zero. Only $164 for a cat girl with no clothes on. Even more so, a lolly one. What is there not to like? This is super adorable. I love it. Should I get one? Like, I know nothing about the game, but this is too good not to give her a second thought, right? What do you think? I love this design so much, man. Alright. The next one from SC Studio, we have Roxy Migurdia. Yeah, ready to make babies. Standard version, $191, and then EX version where you get an additional second figure where she has no clothes on. This feels too low effort. Once again, not too different from that Jingliu bikini figure earlier. It feels too low effort from the brand behind it. Like, they are just betting on all those horny, dry people who are gamers and anime fans to buy stuff like this. Yeah. And moving on to the next figure. What else? Oh, this is actually the best degenerate figure this week. I was actually thinking of pre-ordering it, right? These three characters are from H Anime, which I have watched it already. It was amazing. Yeah. NTR included. I love NTR. From Maruko Studio, Kaihatsu Nikki, Three Sisters. Yeah, all three for $344. This is like one of the best bargains this week if you collect characters from H Anime. I like this so much. Oh, 1x5 scale, bro. 1x5. Man, this is really hard to resist, but it is such a bad investment, such a bad purchase, because I can't even review something like this on YouTube without getting a strike. Not just an ad restriction. Something like this would earn you a strike. Seriously. And if I were to review something like this, it has to go on place like Patreon. Yeah. Well, I'm still contemplating on making a Patreon account because, there is so much work to do. Like, I have to keep an eye on so many social media websites. We'll see. And the last figure for today by Celluloid Studio. Okay. So we have Mark 09, that mecha thing, having fun with Asuka. $503 at 1x4 scale. I would say not bad because you are technically getting two 1x4 scale figures over here. This is so good, man. So you'll see, we have so much degenerate stuff this week. Which one is your favorite? For me, hands down, yeah, that 3 Kaihatsu Nikki Sisters by Maruko Studio, hands down my favorite degenerate figure for this week. No comparison at all. So which one will you pre-order this week? Let me know down in the comments below. And until then, if you found this video helpful, informative, or entertaining in any way, give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more content like this every week. And until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.